Alexandra Kosteniuk, who prefers to be called the chess queen, is right now leading the Grand Prix, the Women's Grand Prix, with a score of 3 out of 3. She has won all her 3 games so far and is the clear leader of the tournament. The former world champion from 2008 to 2010 is now 38 years old, but she has still got it. And she is in a very good position to perform well at the Grand Prix, which is an important step to qualify for the World Women's Championship. So let us have a look at a few key moments from each of these 3 games. This is from the first game. Kostyanek was playing against Kashlinskaya, and here in this position, Black played the fateful knight e7. Can you find the killer blow that Alexandra Kostyanek delivered here? She played rook f6. Knight e7 was a blunder. And now, if you give up the queen, you're still lost. And here, Kalinskaya played queen e8, and then just a discovered attack, rook takes bishop, threatening mate on a piece. And here, Kashlinskaya resigned, and that was a decisive way to start the tournament for Alexandra Kosteniuk. Round two was a tragic, or if you are looking from the black side, a funny way in which Alexandra won. It was basically a gift. Her opponent was Elizabeth Peitz from Germany, and in this position, Elizabeth could have just played rook takes, queen takes, and then just developed the bishop, and it's a fairly equal position. But then, by some sort of brain fade, bishop f4 was played. Elizabeth thought rook take bishop was not playable because of mate. But there's a small problem with that. The queen on a4 is covering e8. So Alexandra happily chopped up the rook and Elizabeth resigned because she's down a piece. She can't play rook e8, it's covered. So she basically blundered a full piece in the middle of the board in a fairly equal position. This is from right after the game. Elizabeth just resigned. Alexandra cannot believe what just happened. Elizabeth did play a great third round game, but yeah, this was a big brain fade moment. In the third round, Alexandra Kosteniuk faced Dinara Wagner, and she played the Maroczy bind against a Sicilian. As you can see, White gained a lot of space against a Sicilian, and she played this in absolute crushing style, like the world champion that she was. Pawn d5 was a decisive mistake by Dinara. b5 takes, takes, and takes. White gains a lot of space with these pawns, and there's an outpost on c6 which she can use later. Here, the problem for black is she has to move the bishop all the way back, blocking a rook, because if she goes here, the bishop hangs on e7. So bishop went back. Now bishop b2, bishop c5, rook d1. So black somehow unclutters the position. The queen f3, queen moves back, queen g3, and now d4. Knight e2, knight e4. Now pieces come up. Queen f3, f5, takes, bishop g6. So the pawn fell basically, the d4 pawn. And bishop g6, knight c6. Look at the beautiful outpost on c6, blocking the queen. Rook takes, and queen b7. Bishop d4, looking for more exchanges. Alexandra believes if she goes to the endgame, it's a favorable endgame. Takes, and takes. And then f5. The e4 pawn is also falling. Queen f7, you can't take because of the pin. So g4. She is not afraid to open up a king. So this is very confident play from Alexandra. Queen b3, but just queen d6, attack in the rook. Rook moves, check, and the queen exchanged off. Takes, and just rook moves. Bishop goes back, and knight check. King moves, takes. So it's two extra pawns for Alexandra. Pawn h6, and just king comes in. g6, takes. And now we have a rook in game. Two extra pawns, so should be not so difficult. She brings the king up. And the technique is also great. Rook comes in, attacking one more pawn. She basically trades off the A pawn for the B pawn. That requires good calculation and evaluation of the endgame. Check, forcing the king away so that the H pawn is defended, and then takes. Rook takes pawn. Now, is this position winning? This is risky, but as long as black stays here, and if black rook is behind the pawn, it's not possible to promote easily. But the problem for black is the king is forced away from this side. And now white king comes in. After pawn push rook moves, pawn h3, white king comes in. And there's mate threat. So the king is forced out of here. If you know the Vancouver position, if black king is able to stay here, the pawn can't promote, but black king is forced out. Rook check, king moves, pawn push. And now after rook check, king h7, black resigned because next this is coming. The Vancouver takes allows the skewer. Even if you play king d7, this is coming. And here you won't lose the rook, but after rook check, king moves, takes, it's a winning pawn in game for Alexandra. So this was completely out good positional style play from Alexandra, and she totally outplayed her slightly weaker opponent and is now leading the field with 3 out of 3. This is from the final moments of that game. Alexandra has just played king h7. Here Wagner would realize that there is going to be a rook move and then the pawn would promote. King h5 would also have won, but Alexandra goes for safety, which is also good. You know that feeling when it's all done, and yeah, he resigns, taking Alexandra to 3 out of 3.